Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be doing a dribble tutorial for those of y'all out there who have been asking for this for quite a while. I know y'all have been wanting a dribble tutorial. I've gotten a lot of comments asking about it, and we're finally here with the dribble tutorial for MyTEAM. Now, as y'all can see, I'm technically not in MyTEAM right now. I'm currently in Learn 2K Freestyle because I'm on PlayStation. Now, I could have probably gotten a PlayStation account with Dr. J to use. I think Dr. J is a great card to demonstrate with because he has good SIGs. A lot of cards have different SIGs, certain animations not as good, much better. Like Dr. J has a lot of really good animations, but a lot of cards don't. And so you gotta, with your card specifically on your team, go into freestyle and figure out what animations you like, what animations you don't like. But I'm gonna tell y'all how to trigger the animations in this video and just explain everything as best as I can for a pretty simple MyTEAM dribble tutorial. Before we hop into it, if y'all haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I'm uploading every single day, tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. I'm on PlayStation instead of Xbox, by the way, because on Xbox, I can't get my HANDCAM to work because my controller's a wired controller for Xbox, whereas PlayStation, I can do it. So point being, we're going to start with your standstill dribble moves, like your half court standstill dribble moves. We're going to start with your front escape between the legs and behind the back without holding right trigger, your non-momentum moves. And so for your front escape, we got the HANDCAM up. So if you have any questions, don't understand anything, go back and watch it even in slow motion for each dribble move if there's something you don't understand, and practice it yourself. But the front escape is very simple. Just diagonally up with the right stick towards the opposite ball hand. That's it. Super duper simple move. Same thing with the between the legs. And same thing with behind the back. So you got your size up, which is that front escape right there, between the legs size up and behind the back size up. And that is pretty simple right there, how you do those three. And then your momentum moves are the exact same, except you're holding right trigger. So you hold right trigger, flick your right stick up to the opposite ball hand. And so basically slightly diagonally up. Slightly straight across is going to give you the between the legs. And then diagonally down towards the opposite hand is going to give you the behind the back. Now, if you notice, the behind the back animation is very slow and doesn't create any space when I do it, right? But Dr. J has a really good behind the back. But in order to trigger an explosive behind the back, which is the SIG that was the Jamal Murray behind the back last year, Steph Curry's Curry slide in the past, SIGs like that create a lot of space, you have to do another dribble move into the behind the back. So that can be a same side hezzy, which by the way, to do a hezzy is the same as the other ones. Just flick it to the same side ball hand straight across. And then if you're holding right trigger, you can do a momentum hezzy, which is going to be the same thing, but same side ball hand with your right stick. Now, to do it behind the back, you have to combine the behind the back with something else, be that a drag back, which the drag back is super simple. Just hold right trigger and flick your right stick down. And that's the drag back animation right there. Very simple. You could do it off a drag back. You could do it off an escape like that, the front escape. You could do it off a same side hezzy. You could do it off of between the legs. You just have to do it off of another dribble move. So what that looks like is front escape into a behind the back. Same movement for the behind the back as just the regular momentum behind the back right there. But if you do it off of a hezzy, do it off of an escape, something like that, you can do it. And you can even spam it. You just have to figure out the tempo on it, the timing on it. But you can spam it, but you have to do another dribble move in order to trigger the behind the back in the first place. So for example, when I'm spamming it there, what I'm doing is I'm going same side hezzy into the behind the back, and I'm doing it almost as one move where I go hezzy and then behind the back to the opposite hand immediately, or front escape to behind the back to the opposite hand immediately to get that triggered. And if I don't hold right trigger, it won't. It will still work if you're holding right trigger for the second move, but it won't work if you do a front escape into behind the back if you're not holding right trigger. So the only way to get the explosive behind the back is off of another dribble move while holding right trigger. Now, outside of that, that's kind of the core of dribbling. There's one other move that I feel like people don't talk about very much in the half court that can be super useful. I'm honestly not an expert on what controls how this move works or why it does or doesn't work, basically. But it's your explosive escape. And some cards don't have a good explosive escape. They'll get like a weird, almost same side hezzy-esque animation instead of this front escape, but it's the same escape as this, except you're holding the right stick instead of just flicking it to the opposite ball hand like that. And you hold it, and then you get a quicker burst. You can run out of it quicker than you would otherwise with their dribble style. If you see, I'll do a front escape and run out of it right here. You see how much slower Dr. J is running out of that because his dribble style isn't good? Versus this front escape move, you get a much quicker burst animation. That's a good way, as long as your card has that move, which again, not every card can do this. But if they can, that is a really, really nice move that can help create a lot of space and give you the ability to burst downhill. Now, One tip with this move, don't do it right in front of the face of a defender because you will get stripped very easily. It'll get bumped by the CPU very effectively. So make sure you have space created before you do that move. But that explosive escape is a really useful move, especially for a card who doesn't have a good dribble style, may not have a great escape themselves, that type of stuff. So keep that in mind for sure. Hopefully that is helpful. Outside of that, I guess we can talk about full court sigs, and then we'll talk about the spin back, which is kind of a fancy little move you can do as well. Full court sigs are basically the same as the half court sigs, except to do a crossover, you're doing slightly diagonally up, right? So diagonally up with the right stick towards the opposite ball hand. To do a same side hezzy while you're pushing the ball up the court, you can you just run up and you do the same side hezzy, right? And you get like a hesitation move right there, like that. And then your full court behind the back is going to give you something like this, which is going to be flicking down towards the opposite hand, diagonally down towards the opposite ball hand. And then obviously you're pushing the court between the legs. It's going to be the same, just straight across, basically, like so, like that right there. Straight across towards the opposite ball hand. And some cards have really good animations there, some cards don't. But when you put all this together, you can really, I did not mean to pick up my dribble there, but you can really start to create some combos. Like you can be bringing up the ball up the court with Dr. J, you cross over, you then like crossover, drag back, same side escape, back to the other escape, explosive escape out of that. You do have to let animations finish though at times before you're able to trigger the next one, but you can combine and combo these animations into being able to move much, much better and really being able to unlock your offense in a lot of ways. If you learn the basics and learn how to chain them together, it can really unlock your offense in a lot of ways. So hopefully this video helps a lot of y'all out in that respect. Another full court dribble sig that I did not mention yet is your breakout dribble or your blowout dribble, which is going to be literally just running up the court and flicking your right stick up. And you get like this push ahead dribble that can give you a bit of a speed boost, help you beat a defender off the dribble. But I will say again, if you do this in front of with a defender in front of you, it will almost always get bumped. So make sure you're only doing it when you have open space that you're pushing the ball towards. It's kind of like it's a blowout dribble basically, right? But in order to get the blowout dribble effectively and not get it bumped, you need to make sure you have clear space for the ball to get pushed out into, basically is what I'm saying. So but this double escape, by the way, is just the escape both ways while holding right trigger. So if you want this animation, you can get a crab off of that animation pretty effectively. The escape into another escape, that can be another good move. That's like a nice little combo if you double escape right there. And then let's just talk about the spin back, because why not? It's a fun little move. I don't really use it very much, but all it is spinning your right stick like in a circle, like you're going to do a spin move, right? Because you can do spin. I didn't talk about spin move, but a spin move is literally just doing a spin towards the opposite ball hand, right? Or I guess you can do it towards the ball hand as well, in which case you get that animation, but you're just spinning your right stick as you run towards the basket. But for a spin back, you're doing that spin, except once you finish the spin, you're immediately going to push your right stick down, and that will give you this like spin back animation. It can create some space, especially when they're expecting you to drive. Like, it's a little bit of a slower animation. I'm not going to say it's the best animation ever, but some cards have faster spin back animations and can create some space off of that. It can be a fun move to like lose a defender, try to get an ankle breaker off of that type of stuff at times for a 3. But with that being said, that's about it for dribbling. I'm sure there's other things that I may have missed. And if there's more advanced moves and stuff y'all want me to try to teach, let me know in the comment section what you're looking to learn. But hopefully this video will help a lot of y'all out. I think it will. And I do think this video will likely be very helpful to a lot of people in terms of figuring out how to dribble more effectively, how to have more success in MyTEAM, all that type of stuff. With that being said, that is going to do it for the video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.